Hello, good evening, welcome to Furious Driving live chat. I don't know if you can see me or not because I've not adjusted the iPad very well. Here we go. Let's try not to drop it on the floor. Gosh, no one's joined yet. This is unusual. Normally people are waiting already. I've not actually gone live properly. This is weird. Oh, hello. Got one person. Hello. Good evening, whoever that might be. The first person. Oh, two people with us now. Hello, Sheldon. Hello, Ben. Hello, Paulie. Glad you can make it. Hello, hello, hello. Fly, drive, ride, fly. Your name is still too long for me to say everything too quickly. Alex, David, BCCC. Good evening. Scottish. David, hello. Nice to see you here. Psycho, good evening. Gosh, suddenly everyone's here. I was thinking I'd done this wrong. Yes, wine and tea, because I'll start off with a cup of tea, and it's late in the Friday evening already. So why not have a cup of wine, glass of wine, cup of tea, whatever. Tom, hello. So I'm not looking at the screen. Oh, good luck with the welding. That's going to be no fun at all in the rain. Yes, social distancing away from the entire family at the moment. Hello, Denmark. Gosh. Updates on 145. Well, I'll come to all this in a second. I'm not too bad. Bitter? I'll have a pint. Yeah. Your 30th birthday's on Sunday, so happy birthday. Oh, several birthday shout outs already. So happy birthday, Tom. Happy birthday to, I don't know if you're actually watching or not yet, but Richie, if you're watching, then happy birthday to you as well. And a shout out to my son's friend, Arthur. Arthur, I had to bribe him with his pocket money early so he could buy Robux to go and play downstairs. Your wine's chilling. Well, I've got red here, so yeah, room temperature, obviously. I'll have a cup of tea first to move on to that when that's done. Oh, lots of questions already. I'm actually doing a ball Trainmaster Voyager this week quite a lot, which is a very specific question, which only Paulie will know the answer, understand the answer to that one, unless you're Googling. Right, yeah, I thought I'd start off tonight with a little sort of mention talk, if you like, about format, times and changes, which is going to be hopefully a good thing, because I randomly do live chats every now and then, and yeah, this t-shirt, if you hit the links down below, Broken Rovers and Shattered Dreams. Oh my gosh, Psycho, you're a wonderful person. You're jealous of my Giulia drive. I wish more people watched it. Amazing, the Fiesta is more popular at the moment. I can't believe the free Fiesta is more popular than the Alpha. But yeah, thank you very much indeed. That is actually going to be spent tomorrow on some exciting bits for the V8. Yeah, so what my plan now is, from the first weekend of every month, planning for the Friday if possible, but if other commitments don't allow, then it'll be Saturday or Sunday morning. But first Friday evening will be live chat night. That's my plan going forward. But that's not all. Because you may be aware, we've got the channel memberships. You can hit the join button down below and become like a channel member. And also there's Patreon as well. So you can also kind of support the channel that way, so we can go and buy bits for cars to make videos about buying bits for cars. Members and Patreons are going to get an end of the month video talking about what I've been buying with the stuff, and so what the projects are going to be in the upcoming few weeks, and also a few behind the scenes, that kind of things. And also I have today taken out a PO box. So I thought I'd instantly get an address, but you don't. It takes about a week to get an address. So in a few days time I'll post that, and if you want to send me junk, rubbish, just stuff out your garage that you want to get rid of, I will then talk about it on a mail time on the monthly members chat at the end of the month, and then a month after that, once sort of 4 weeks later, once the members and patrons have had a look at it, then I'll put it out to the real world, and they can also see what we've been talking about a month previously, by which point the previews and sneaks and things are no longer sneaks and previews, because hopefully the videos will have happened. Not always, of course, though, because 10 days ago I was checking out the dispatch details of some stuff I bought for the convertible 10 days ago, and still hasn't happened. I started doing a video about getting it running again. Didn't actually happen, well, I've done most of the things, but I can't finish the video because I'm waiting for one item to arrive, not even a part of the car, just a fixing material, and it's still in the post somewhere. Right, that's enough of that. So if you want to see any of the preview videos a month ahead of time, then hit the join, hit the Patreon buttons. It's pennies a month, because I don't want to sort of fleece people, but if it can help out with the videos, then fantastic. Hello, Steve. Right, I'm going to start going back through the comments because I've missed loads already. I was just talking for a minute without looking at the screen. Right. Where are we? Hello, hello. What's happening with 145? Well, nothing at the moment, but oh, Chris, sorry, that's you. I'm still waiting on the garage. The car is in the queue. He's been a bit overwhelmed with people not going on holiday abroad and wanting their cars fixed for UK holidays, so his garage is overwhelmed at the moment, but it's happening very soon. Oh yeah, James is the Rover 420 GSI Estate I drove recently. That is now for sale. It's on eBay. If you go on the Nitro Silver YouTube channel after you've watched this, obviously, you will be able to find his eBay listing for that very car. It's about £1,000, I think, at the moment. Thank you very much to the guy about the Cooper review. I really enjoyed driving that car. That was actually from Seat's own heritage fleet, so it's a very, very special car indeed. Do I like TVRs? Yes, I do. Oh, Frank, I saw the 5 come up. Thank you very much indeed. I very much do appreciate that. The T-Shell Fund appreciates it. Tea being drunk right now. As soon as the tea is drunk. Oh, it's going into the wine fund. The other funds we've got going on at the moment is to buy a actual Crown Victoria to replace the toy Crown Victoria that's sitting on the desk, because I would very much like to have a real Crown Victoria parked outside. Right, let's go back, so I'll keep missing comments because I'm talking rather than reading comments. Carol and Dave, brilliant. Glad to hear your car fettling is still going. Do you know what? I think I had those X-ray specs you could buy in the comic books many years ago. The ones that you could apparently see through stuff. I bought a pair of them, I think, as well. They're useless. I keep getting stuck to whether I like TVRs. Yes, I love TVRs. They're great fun. You found a BX van for sale. That must be a homemade thing, surely. Well, maybe if Ian is watching, then he'll be able to correct me on this, but I never thought there was a BX panel van. Wow, that's amazing. Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio, I still can't say that properly, is definitely the most beautiful car you can buy on the market at the moment. Driving that car was so much fun. I was absolutely hampered by the weather though, because I had it for a week and it rained almost constantly for a week while I had that car, which was... Oh, Alan, thank you very much indeed. Do you know, that's something I need very much indeed. Welding wire is an extremely important item in my life, and possibly welding lessons as well, if I'm very honest. Where are we? What's going on with the comments right now? How's the Rover Cabbie doing? Well, I've started a job on it. I don't know if you just joined a second too late. I was just saying I've done a lot to it, but I'm still waiting on one tiny vital part so I can finish the video and bring the update. Otherwise, it's leaving the video kind of unfinished, which I'm not happy to do. So it's getting there, but it's, as always with the convertible, it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and because that's why we call him Quentin Hateful Eight, as in Quentin Tarantino. And of course the coupe is Jules because he's so cool. Dave, thank you very much indeed. T-Fund, thanks you very much indeed. There'll be some hobnob biscuits going with that. What do I think of the Toyota Starlet? I think they're very good little cars. I don't know if they're the most exciting thing in the world to drive, but they're nice and reliable. Matt Jones, volume is very low. Nothing I can actually do about that because I'm just shouting at an iPad. I'll try and stand closer to it because that's the best I can do, I'm afraid. TVR Cerbera 4.5. I think I might actually have been offered a Cerbera because someone, kind of a random thing happened the other day. Someone who's in one of the car clubs I'm in got a second-hand message to me saying could they borrow a drive because they were in a TVR and it had broken down and they're on holiday just around the corner from me. So they spent a couple of hours in my drive, and I'm pretty sure it was a Cerbera. I'm sure it was a Cerbera. He said I could take that for a drive. So I think I might have a Cerbera. But drop me an email, bodyintheboot@gmail.com. Latest on the Volvo 740, I'm going to tax it this weekend because it's been on sawn off the road for the last couple of months because I've not been using it, and I'm going to use it for a month before winter comes properly. Bought another Alfa 156. Oh, jealous. I would love another Alfa 156. They're one of the prettiest cars of the 90s and noughties. Do I watch the Matchbox restorations? No, I don't know them. No, I've put a link in one of the next comments so if you can find it, because I'd love that. Sounds quite interesting. Seat Leon Cooper R Mark 1. Very, very good indeed. Yeah, great car for the time. What do I think of the Nissan Duke? Next question. Need a Peugeot Citroen mug. What? As in like a dealership type mug? PSA group. I'll have to research what that looks like. I'll see if I can create one and stick it on the Redbubble store. Because basically anything I'm going to stick on the Redbubble store is anything I can make. Although there are copyright issues, they've taken my Volvo T-shirts down because they say it's a copyright infringement. But I drew it from a photo of my own car, so it's currently off the store. But I'm going to put it back on again. Maybe it's because I included the Volvo logos. Maybe you can't include the actual name Volvo in a Volvo T-shirt. I don't know. I'm going to try and re-upload it without the writing on it. ISO, thank you very much indeed. When does Saab 900 go for a drive? Actually, I need to go and sort that out. We need some more Saabs. What do I think of the Golf Mark 4? It was better than the Golf Mark 3. A Crown Vic for €6,000 is kind of the going rate, but they are going up quite rapidly, and then it depends what spec you want. You can get a black and white one for a lot less than you can get a detective spec car. So because I want a detective spec car, they're unfortunately the wrong end of cheap. Yeah, Volvo does it. I think it actually was Volvo who issued the takedown notice. So yeah, Volvo is taking down takedown fans, and they don't do any 740 merch of their own. So Peugeot dude, hello to you. Have you well? Do you know what, Robert? I did drive a Saab 900 Cabrio, not for the channel, for a magazine thing last year, and it was a wobbly old thing. But it's quite fun though. The one that's now marked Interceptor, yes. Yeah, that's the one I want. The unmarked Interceptor, which is also called a detective spec car or a civilian appearance pack, various things. Well, me and Ian, we ought to really. We used to work together quite a lot on magazines, and so it would be quite entertaining. We did a few road trips and things together or trips around for work. Unfortunately, he lives in the far end of Wales, and I live in the far end of Kent, so there's several hours in between us. We have spoken about it, but it's just not an easy thing to do. Any experience with Hifley or Fulken tyres? Never used the Hifleys. Fulkens, they're kind of okay as a budget tyre. Don't go track daying in them or trying to push them too hard, but I think they're all right, I think. If you're not going too high performance. I can't wait to get my first Fiesta Mark 6 Z-Tech as a first car. You will not go wrong with that. That was a great car. I really, really enjoyed driving that little car. Get a Honda Prelude pop-up headlights. Yeah, they're fun. I think my brother used to have one of those many years ago. So I'm talking too much and not reading enough of the messages. Love my shows. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Oh, sorry, Alex. Yes, don't worry. I will get that written tomorrow. I actually have an adventure collecting bits of cars tomorrow, so hopefully that'll be more content V8 related coming very soon. Thank you, Mohammed. That's very kind of you. Watched the video with the black and white film. Oh yeah, sorry. Yes, on the photography channel. Yes, confused me for a second then. Yes, I have. I've just been filming a video. My other channel is called Clickbait. It's a photography. The link down below. I've been filming a video with this week. I bought a new light bag for changing films. Surprisingly expensive, about 35 quid I think it was, from a place called Analog Wonderland, who seem very helpful and very good at sending black and white film developing stuff out. Hey Maxidine, great to see you here. Yeah, it turned out the film developing was great. The 90-year-old camera, not so great. So hopefully it'll be an entertaining film when I did that over the weekend. Yeah, film is horrifically expensive, considering I've got 6 photos and none of them are any good. Oh, sorry, Stevenage 70s were magic. Sorry, I didn't see any of your notes come up before. I've just seen it now. Do I co-own Stone Cold Classics? No, I wish I did. Some lovely cars to play with if I did. No, he's just a friend who's located very close by. What do I think is the best hatchback of the 90s to early noughties? You said Focus Mark 1. Actually, you're probably about right, actually. The Peugeot 306 was excellent as well. I really wanted a 306. But the Mark 1 Focus, and looking back, the more and more I think about it, the more I think they're brilliant. Rover 4 and 6 SI, yeah, they were good, but I think the Focus was probably better. Any plans to take part in a challenge with LMM, Rubbish Mechanic, Lloyd's Vehicle Consulting, and maybe Hubnut? Well, we did have one planned for when the lockdown originally struck, and we just all kind of would like to do that again, but it's just not really kind of responsible and possible. And as soon as we can, we will do. Basically, without sort of putting ourselves at risk, bringing others involved who might be at risk, bringing ire and destruction on ourselves and others. Got a Sony A7 with Voigtlander. Oh, yeah, Sony A7 is really good. I prefer the feel of the Nikons in my hand for doing, well, just holding them really. I like the menus on Nikons as well. I don't like the Sony menu system. Let's go off on a tangent about cameras there. Which is more rear legroom, W205 or W204? From memory, I think they're very much the same. I think a 204 might be easy to get into though. ST170 Ford Focus Mark 1 is awesome. Sorry, I'm backwards. I'll keep missing people. How's the Capri doing? That's actually doing very well. I did visit it briefly today. It's a minor update, not enough to put a film up, but it's getting ever closer. What's my thoughts on the return of the max power scene? Well, it's great. It's another sort of diverse area of car culture. I've kind of didn't exactly grow up with it. I was a bit old for growing up with it, but I did work for Fast Car magazine, which was very much the same culture for a long time. It was quite fun, a bit anarchic. It was, yeah, some of the cars are absolutely terrible, and you see the cars now, you think, oh my god. I think to be honest, even at the time we thought, oh my god, to quite a few of them. But yeah, no, it's great. It's great. It's coming back. It's something different, but it makes a change. Well, the scene has to evolve somewhere. Oh, Persia, you're disappearing, but you're watching the Xbox. Okay, cool. Not too many cars, but steering is impressive. What other cars have similar steering? Scale of 80s Micro to MX-5. Well, they're all a little bit different because you look at how much the kind of feedback information from the road, how much interruption there is from the power assistance. Is it really easy to turn the wheel? Is it very heavy to turn the wheel? But is that a good thing or a bad thing? Mighty Car Mods, they keep buying old max power era cars, don't they? Yeah, and they've got the Nissan Serra and the what was the other thing they bought? It was also terrible. I think it's feeling a bit nostalgic for it, really. Rubbish Mechanic would have been in the shout with his, yeah, it was 166. Yeah, that's pretty most powerful car by a long way. Well, if you could take your Hyundai Santa Fe off road somewhere, that would be really fun to do, actually, Andy. What one of my cars would win a drag race if they all raced at the same time and were all new? Honestly, I think it would be the Mercedes estate, actually. The diesel estate is very faster than anything else on the fleet. I would think the new VW Lupo. I haven't actually seen that one yet. Yeah, ST170s are bargain basement right now. It's the right time to buy one. If you can find a good rust-free ST170, don't beat me to it, because I would like it. Yeah, tell me some more of the convertible. I'm actually 10 days into waiting on a delivery for that car. I had three bits ordered to complete the video. I'm halfway through filming on that particular car. One bit said it was going to take 6 weeks to arrive, so I kind of pre-planned to ignore that for a while. That arrived nice and early. One bit was meant to be next day, and I got an email the following day saying it would arrive in 2 weeks' time. But I've an email today saying that will arrive Monday. And one bit was just a 2-day delivery for a really minor component that nothing else can carry on without. And that's now 10 days delayed so far, and I can't carry on without it. So we're waiting. But yeah, that car is continuing to cause me more problems than solutions. Verdict on the Hubnut 75 is not the smartest 75, but it is a 75, so I'm sure he'll have fun with it, because they're very, very nice cars, as long as it's not rusty. Let's hope it isn't. Thoughts on the Frog Eye Scorpio? I really hated them at the time, but now I sort of quite like the look of them with a nostalgic kind of twinkle. I still don't think they're pretty, but I quite like them from a nostalgic point of view. They're lovely inside, though. How much will I admit how much I spent on the Cabrio? I will when I finally get it all done. I'll tote it all up and then give you a full list. But currently, it's still costing money. That is the car that's cost more of all my cars in the last month than anything else, and it still doesn't work, and I still hate it. And it's not going to get its money back when I sell it. Yeah, those Steve, the Fiats, they are actually kind of potentially in hand, because I've got a friend who has got a mini Fiat, and I think he's got all of those cars, so we could well have them happening. Finley, thank you much indeed. Yeah, most of Nissans of the era do have a habit of rusting out pretty badly. So the 100NX. Could I review a Mark III Ford Granada and a Scorpio? Yes, I'd absolutely love to review both of those cars. I almost bought a Mark III Granada not so long ago because I think it's just really, really cool. It had a first car for Nissan 100NX. Wow, that's really cool. It is obscure, very weird, but I do quite like them. Tom car, but I was parked opposite a Sarah tonight. Wow. Good. There's only a few of them around, so well done. 43 years old, still yet to buy a car with power steering. That's doing some thing. Do you mostly own Land Rovers by any chance? Oh yeah, named UK Mud. No power steering. You definitely own Land Rovers. Oh, the 1930 Morris Minor. That was a beautiful little car, but the whole sort of backwards pedal thing, that was a very confusing arrangement. You really need to spend a lot of time practicing on that car to get confident with it. I'm sure it'll be fine once you are used to it, but I'll be honest though, I really actually preferred the Austin 7 Ulster. That was much nicer to drive. More Rover convertible, please. Just come and buy it, take it away. Then you can have non-stop Rover convertible fun. Fast Car didn't turn into Evo. Fast Car ran alongside Evo for a while. They're actually very different magazines because Evo was all about unmodified new supercars. And Fast Car was all about just sticking massive fiberglass body kits on Saxos. E60 M5 is a beast. It is an E60, so it will break. Current situation with the Alpha, I'm waiting on my mechanic friend, but he's overwhelmed with work right now, so it's all a bit up in the air. Where are we? How come I don't own any Hondas? That's a good question. I've just never bought any. Many of the cars I own by accident. I've not actually gone out to look for them. I think only really the Alpha 145 and the Mercedes. The only two cars I've deliberately bought on my entire fleet at the moment. The grey Mercedes. Everything else has just kind of turned up and I've gone, yes, I'll have that. So no one's offered me a knackered, broken Honda for £100, and that's why I've not got one. Yeah, Fast Car has done well, really. I did a lot of fun shoots on that. I think my favourite shoot ever from that one was when we took two writers and two photographers were taken down to the south coast, dropped off with no phones and no wallets, and had to get back to the office in Orpington first. It was a race. We just had nothing really. That was a fun shoot to do. If your dad was leaving copies of Fast Car and Fast Forward around the house, he was a good dad. The Austin 7 was fantastic, but the Ulster, that didn't have a supercharged engine. It didn't. But because it was a reproduction, if it was a real one, it would have been supercharged, which would have been even amazing. Rover cab is too rough, even for your channel. That's harsh, but it is terrible. When we show us my dogs, I think they did actually run into a video the other day, which I've nearly finished filming, but the rain has stopped me finishing and putting bits on the car. Oh, thank you very much indeed. Yeah, the Maxidine, like the cars we're reviewing lately. Well, we're trying to get a good mixture. Because I've managed to film a few in advance. I'm trying to get a bit of a mix. I'm doing something very old one day. I'll do something a bit newer the next day. Balance the expensive Alpha against the free Fiesta. And astonishingly, more people like the Fiesta than the Alpha, which is mad. Volvo 850 T5, awesome. Yeah, I followed Nissan Cube down the motorway the other day. I'd actually quite like to do something with that. Mercedes W123 is fine. I've bought some bits for it, so that will be as soon as the rain stops outside and go and attach them to the car. Mazda ZDOS 6, I think really cool looking cars. I was really quite keen on buying one of those back in the late 90s. But I don't know why I didn't. It's just expensive. I ended up buying a Rover 200 instead. Where are we? Have I ever driven a three-wheel Rover Reliant? No, I haven't. I was actually kind of thinking maybe it'd be quite fun to get on the channel, and then Aging Wheels went and bought one. So it's the black t-shirt that does it, and the glasses. It looks like Steve Jobs. Volvo XC40. XCs are the SUVs. I don't do SUVs, so that's not going to come in a hurry. How's the Sweeney Capri coming on? It's coming on alright. I visited it today. It's not had a full enough update for a full video, but it's getting there. I did find a couple on Google, but it's all modern Mercedes parts, Mercedes breakers. This is it's all very modern Mercedes, but I'm still quite keen to get a red interior for my estate car. So you're fixing a 93 Robin Reliant LE93. That'd be great fun to take that for a drive. We'll get in contact after the video. Would I consider an EV conversion to a classic car? Yeah, absolutely. It's just the price that's putting me off at the moment. If the Mercedes 123 hadn't started, I was actually giving serious thought to doing electric conversion on that. It's only the fact it was going to cost quite a few £1,000s that was putting me off do that. Yeah, 15 grand for a 220 turbo. Yes, Chris, I do. I was just thinking about doing some more videos this week, but then the rain started happening and that just destroyed all hope of filming stuff. Yeah, you got a fantastic collection of Italian cars there to go back and look at some more. Have I driven a sub 900 turbo classic? Yes, they're very heavy, leaden feeling cars, but very fast as well. It's an interesting mix of weight and speed and sudden turbo. Quite fun. Just bought a Mark II Mazda MX-5 as a winter car in northeast Scotland. I hope you got the hardtop with it. Have I driven a 220 Coupe Turbo? I have. I do like them a lot. Does yours do the torque steery thing when you just absolutely boot it? So I kind of prefer the non-turbo because it's a bit more predictable as you accelerate. Vauxhall Senator or Ford Granada? I think I'm more of a Ford Granada. I don't know actually. I think it used to be Ford Granada, now I'm thinking more Vauxhall Senator. Nissan Cubes are very cool. 1928 Citroen calls. We'll have fun with that. Happening way off at nothing, waiting for mechanics to get around to it. Do I watch Car Wow when he drove all the Mercedeses? No, I didn't actually. Would that have been no, I'll have to look for that. Oh, RP, thank you very much indeed. That's very kind of you. Have I worked with Johnny Smith? Years ago on a magazine feature, because he is a magazine writer as well as as TV presenter / writer, and I photographed his Dodge Charger when he first brought it into the UK for a magazine many years ago. He's a very nice guy actually. Oops. In fact, that was with Roadhouse Retro, so it's the guy he's doing the Allegro Equip with. Saab Colson's there, very cool. Have I driven a Corrado G60? No, I haven't. I need to. Purple Atkin. So are you reviewing a hybrid next couple of weeks? Now that'll be interesting. Interesting with hybrids is if you actually notice it's a hybrid or not, because the better ones you kind of don't notice the join. It kind of drops between power sources. Trading a V12 7 Series for a C6 Corvette, that's a very different car indeed. It will not be as smooth, but it'll be a lot of fun. This is a Lego Mustang. It was my son's, and he came in the other day and said, "You'll enjoy this more than I will. You have it in your desk." Because it was in his room. Have I driven a Tesla? Yes, the Model S. It's a very impressive thing, but the build quality on those isn't spectacular. I'm going to tax that again tomorrow, I think, because it's the beginning of the month. Drive it for a month before winter comes. I actually took some photos the other day of a Mercedes 600 SEL V12 Coupe, which was it SEL? No, SEC, sorry, SEC Coupe, which was an awesome thing. It was for sale. And it didn't go for many thousands of pounds, but more thousands of pounds than I had knocking around for a ridiculous V12 Mercedes. But it was a very nice car indeed. Which Rover project, Richard? There are 4 of them outside at the moment. Alfa Romeo 1938 2900B. Well, yes, they're very nice, but unless you can find me one that's broken for £100, I doubt we'll be buying one very soon. Super or Skyline? Skyline. Yeah, I've watched loads of Sam Crack videos. He's more of a bodger than I am, which makes me feel better about myself. In fact, one of the best bodges I've got recently was from Sam Crack. If you've got a massively dead battery and it won't take a charge because the charger's not acknowledging that there's a battery even connected to it, get a better battery and hook them all in series, so blah, 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 and then it will trick the charger into charging the new battery, and the new charger will charge the old battery. It's probably very dangerous, but it actually worked. Series Land Rovers, I haven't featured any yet. I've got one lined up, but I think they're great fun. They're terrible but wonderful. They're convertible, as I've just said a couple of times. You may have just jumped in after I've said this the last 2 times. I've started doing some work on it, improved, waiting for parts. It's also made itself less good as well. So yeah, the next video is going to be a bit of a marathon. Have I driven a Fiat 131 Mia Fiore Sport? No, but I have photographed one for a magazine years ago, and it was absolutely awesome. Someone said, have I driven or played the Outrun arcade game? Yes, because I'm old enough to have been around when that was new and contemporary. So yes, I played that in the arcades, and I had that on a Spectrum, a Sinclair Spectrum as well. So I played many hours of Outrun in both Spectrum computer and in the arcade. That was a classic, that one. Oh, Fiat Campagnola. Yeah, that's a nice little car. There was also an Alfa Romeo four-wheel drive as well, like a GP type Defender thing back in the late 50s, early 60s. I've forgotten what it's called though. It's quite a rare thing. It was built for the Italian army, I believe. Cavalier Mark 1 or Volvo Amazon. They are very different cars. Probably go for the Volvo, but the Cavalier is more of a Cortina rival than an Amazon rival. Do I think the Alfa Romeo Tonale is dead for its release as it's a plug-in? No, because that is kind of the future at the moment. To me, it's dead because it's an SUV, so it would never interest me. Have you seen the Splinter Allwooden supercar? Yes, that's a much faster version of the car I drove the other day. Ever fancied an SD1? Yes, frequently. They're fantastic. Fiat Barchetta are the beautiful cars. I really wish we'd never sold ours. Do I think the Rover 75 will become a classic? It already is a classic. What are you talking about? It's definitely in the modern classic territory. The people who've got them really appreciate them. They're looked after. They're cherished. They're becoming sort of second cars that people are holding on to for fun. So yeah, that's already a classic car. What's time split between pro work and YouTube work? At the moment, it's actually about 50-50. I seem to be doing more and more YouTube all the time, and it's kind of taking over quite frighteningly at the moment. I had 3 jobs rained off this week because I couldn't go and do shoots outside in the rain, and I wound up spending a lot of the week just doing YouTube stuff. So more and more and more. If I was choosing a cheap winter hack for a large estate, what would I be? 75 Turret or Saab 9.5? Probably the Saab 9.5 is going to be a bit cheaper, but equally reliable. Either I'd like the Saab actually, but I like them both. If I was getting the Rover, I'd be keeping it and tucking it up somewhere, not using it in the winter because they rust out inside the rear arches. A tuk-tuk could be awesome, turbo or otherwise. Mark 1 Ford KA or Mark 1 Twingo? I think the KA actually. The Twingo's quite fun though, in its own little way. Yes, I did know that Ian Callum had a hand in the design of the Rover 75 Tourer and various other estates as well. He's one of those designers who sticks his hand into everything. You reckon I should make a kit car? Do you know how long it takes me to finish anything? Commodore Outrun was better than Spectrum. Are we starting this again? It's not 1986 anymore. Get over it. The Spectrum won. Frank, thank you. The Alpha Matter. That was a little tiny Alfa Romeo four-wheel drive GP type thing. Yes. Oh, Scottish Currency. Thank you very much indeed for the wine fund. Yes. You know, I think they'll start off being intended for the car fund. Then I'll go and look at something on the Alpha. So not the Alpha, on the Rover convertible, and then it'll just convert instantly into the wine fund, like when Joseph Lloyd from Lloyd's Vehicle Consulting was here briefly in the week, and he's not seen the convertible yet. So I said, I'll take it up off the hood and I'll start it for you so you can see it. And naturally, the battery, which had been on charge on a like a trickle charger, was flat. How can a battery go flat when it's on a trickle charger? That's not actually possible, is it? How bad can a power drain be in a car? That's just one of the new problems. Oh, I didn't see Big Clive's chat. Have you seen Vice Grip Garage? He's quite good. He's an American guy who sort of rescues cars, and he was having a good live chat yesterday, which I watched a bit of. Oh, hang on. Dad's mate used to work for Gremlin Graphics and did the get games pre-release on the Spectrum. Oh, I'm very jealous now. I'm spending my pocket money on the games. Well done, Scottish Cartoon Enthusiast TV. Nicely done. Well, that Ibiza was 2 litre in Greece. GTI, we've got the 1.4. That was so hard to research. People have been commenting all day. I've not had time to respond to any of the comments yet. That it wasn't 150, it was 115 bhp Golf GTI Mark III engine. But all the figures I could find from SEAT showed it was 150 bhp engine in the that 2 litre. It was more powerful in the 1.8 turbo, but people are telling me it's 115 horsepower, but they're wrong. It's not. It's just such a hard car to research, and people think they know it, but they really don't. It's that's when I have to go and sit and answer the comments very tactfully, because people are commenting that I'm wrong, and in fact they're wrong. Some video on the Mark 1 Punto and the Citroen XM. Oh, those are great cars to drive. Desktop Ferrari Testarossa. No, it's a Rover Coupe and an Alfa 145. And that's a Mustang. The other cars on the desk today are SD1. It's a Nash Rambler. No, it's not. It's a Nash Rambler. And Aston Martin's old and new. And of course the Crown Vic. That's the desk of cars. Actually, there are Ferraris on the desk. I've got some Lego shell Ferraris from when they did that promo a little while ago on the desk. Many cars on the desk. Hello, Egg Weasels. Oh, Volvo C30. That was a fun car to drive. I hadn't driven one of them before. I always thought they were really cool. Oh, do you know what? I haven't driven the Honda E yet. I'm trying to get hold of one to test so that I can give a full and frank opinion of the T-shelf on that car. I'm hoping it's exciting. Oh, yeah, that's rather cool. Rolls-Royce and Mercedes, those dealing with proper stuff. If it's your grandfather, then when they're making really impressive cars. Yeah, BX was a great car. BX GTI, that'd be a nice car to get hold of. Acorn Electron, yeah, that's a classic computer now. Yeah, our Spectrum Plus was a tape deck one. My brother did get a Plus 3, which had the 3-inch. No, it's an odd-sized disc drive on it. Yes, I have seen Cold War cars. That was cool. Oh yeah, Road Rash. That was good. I've forgotten that one. A classic Impreza. We did the Series 2 the other day. That was good. Rover Long Breach Operations Limited 1996 400 series. May have missed the context of that comment. Psycho, I can't see what you're replying to because I'm going backwards and everything's not making sense at the moment. It's alright. Just going backwards to the comments right now. Worst position of the place in ECU on the RX front end in the wing, or 75's windscreen scuttle? The 75's windscreen scuttle, because the R8s don't really seem to get them particularly wet up in there. They seem to be quite good. Got some of my comfort zone driving SUV. I've driven them. The words you'll hear me use on Monday when I talk about something else. Your average SUV, which isn't like a proper full-size 7-seater, Discovery Cayenne Q7 size monster vehicle, so it's a monster size vehicle. Fat Astra. It's just like a fat Astra. It's Oh, I need to go and find Auto Trader. Alfa Romeo AR51 Meta. Yes. Someone else has commented. Yes, that was the small four-wheel drive Alfa Romeo I'd love to get hold of. What's my favourite car in the world? I honestly don't know. There's too many to choose from. Flip between Austin 7, Crown Victoria, Rover 2000, Cord 812. Just too many to choose from. They're all so different. Psycho owned 3 Mia Fioris, including a Sport. There was a Mia Fiore Sport that I took the photos of, actually. It was a really good car. You don't live somewhere near 60 by any chance? love to see me do a Renault Versatis. I would love to do a Renault Versatis as well, and an Avantime. I think those are beautiful cars, very hard to find. Any plans heading for Scotland in the future? Not for the foreseeable, only because of the whole kind of situation with lockdowns and things happening at the moment. So I don't know. We have got a trip to Wales booked in about a month or so's time. But it looks like that might get cancelled, and one of the options they were giving us as an alternative was to Scotland. So who knows? It may happen. I don't know. I should test drive a Lada. Yes, I definitely should. Will a Fiesta Mark III ever feature on the channel? Yeah, I'll probably get all the generations Fiesta in the end. So yeah, I do actually really like driving in Scotland. In fact, one of the things I've got planned to do, because we did the Route 66 talk through, me and my friend Barry, back during lockdown. We also did the NC 500, the North Coast 500, a couple of years ago as well. So that'd be quite fun to go and do a talk through, a chat through with like a photo slideshow with him at some point in the near future, so we can sort of virtually go to Scotland. Oh, the battery charger Trickle also works with a 9-volt battery. That's good to know. Mark 4 or Mark 5 Escort? Mark 4, I like the Mark 4 more. Nicer shape in my opinion. So I think I've gone too far backwards and now I'm missing the new ones. This is harder to do. You need a second person reading the comments and feeding them to you, really, when you do this. Yeah, there were some great roads in southern Scotland because we did the North Coast 500. We started off in, oh, I forgot where we started. It's Inverness you started, and then you head west. And there's some amazing roads driving out, not west, yeah, west, yeah, to the coast in that direction. You're sort of in the middle of nowhere. Fantastic. It wasn't so great starting off with the average speed cameras, which we were told were like 1 mile an hour above the limit, so you couldn't stray from the limit. So you spent more time just looking at the speedo than anything else. Hello, UK Rail TV. What do I think of a Scimitar GT? I think they're quite fun cars, actually. They're quite interesting, but a bit different. Good fun driving. I've done a Mark III. I have done an XR2. That's a good point, but I've not done the regular cooking model. So yeah, I do need to do the cooking model though as well. I did that GRRC plan the road trip around the Highlands. That would have been quite fun because I'm sure there would have been some great cars on that one. No, it wasn't a 5-inch disc drive on the Spectrum Plus 3. I think it was a like a 3-inch or a 2-inch or something like that. It was like a really odd size. Because normally the regular floppy disk's like a 3 1/4, and it was like a tiny bit smaller. Oops. Do I prefer a Rover 214 or a Rover 414? I kind of prefer the hatchback shape actually, but where inventor a jolly, that's just a family holiday. Hub that's been mentioning T-shelves. I've missed that. Oh wow. Well, that's nice because I thought I just Triangle of Doom. He's returning the favourite, we're infiltrating each other's videos. I've not seen that on that. I was watching his Rover 75 adventures with the filters and the puddles of water today. I'll have to go and watch a couple of them and try and catch that. Yeah, Hyundai Coupes, yeah, they are suddenly getting a bit expensive. I saw a yellow one that was absolutely immaculate going for a few £1,000s. Cabriolet Ferrari Testarossa S and a bigger font. Vic 20s, oh god, I've forgotten the Vic 20. I need to do a classic computer channel. In fact, on the photography channel, on the bookshelf on its side over behind the iPad right now, there is a MacBook Duo from 1992 or 3, which still works. So I'm going to do a video about using Photoshop on that very soon. Did a Honda pulling out of the engine manufacturers could be the end of the series, or it could open the way for someone else. But the thing is, if Formula 1 goes electric, isn't that just Formula E? What's the difference between that? Yeah, I don't know. Is the power source important? Because Formula E hasn't really picked up the traction they really wanted it to, has it? It's got some fans, but it's not as big as Formula One. But then Formula One was kind of losing fans because it was too much of a procession and or too robotic. And yeah, people didn't like the no noise, did they? So, don't know. Maybe we need to get a new car engine maker involved, or maybe someone else will step forward, or maybe it'll be hybrid. Maybe hybrid for Formula One and full electric for Formula E. Who knows? Can I review a Lotus Colton? Yeah, if someone would give me one, that's the problem. Let's go and talk to the Vauxhall collection. Egg Weasels, thank you very much indeed. I'm glad it's addictive. Porsche 3568, actually yes. Oh, you can see the models on the shelf. Oh yeah, there are cars everywhere hidden in this office. A BX GTI and an Acorn Electron. Gosh, you were taking the alternative route there. Was I impressed with the T-shelf photo in the Saab 900? Yes, I was. Was that the little individual one cup thing? So I was trying to work out what kind of car it was. I didn't recognise what it was. Got a couple of T-shelf pictures this week, which I'm always grateful for. I need to go and start doing a gallery on Facebook. I've been really behind on comments and Facebooks and things this week. Just had not enough time to do things. What was I just going to say? Have I driven a Passat W8? No, I haven't. Someone near here has got a Phaeton, but it's not the W engine one, so that'd be interesting to do that car. Fiat Panda or Renault R4? Well, if we're talking earlier than the 1980s, it would be the Renault 4. But into the 80s, I think the Panda was a more fun car, especially in four-wheel drive. Panda 4x4 to rule them all. Oh, Maxidine. I've worked on those Ibithas, 2 litres of 16-valve engine with 150 bhp. Thank you very much indeed for verifying that. Yeah, and the 1.8T was in the facelift version. I actually thought I was going to get the Cupra R of that generation, which is astonishingly rare, because I thought that Seat had one of those on the Heritage fleet, which is a 1.8 turbo facelift. So when that car turned up, all my research was wrong. I had to start all over again. Oh wow, so this is from Greece, I think. So bouncing back to the comments again. We also had the Ibiza S4, which had the basic interior, GTI seats, but a different logo and body kit and twin headlight front end. Wow, God, that would mix them up all over the place. Yeah, but yeah, that particular Seat was astonishingly rare, but amazingly, they lent it to me for a week to play with, and it was just so much fun. Opinions on the Fiesta Mark III. It's basic but honest transport. Not going to set the world on fire, but there's nothing wrong with it. Better in XR form. Yes, it's a James Bond Corgi model. Well, is it Corgi? No, it's a Hot Wheels, I think. Yeah, it's a Hot Wheels. Where are we? Do I know where I can get a silver Mercedes W202 die-cast? No. in short, there are some very specialist model shops around. I'll just type that exactly what you've written just there into Google and see what comes up. That'd be your best bet, because it'll be online somewhere. Saw the video on the City Rover. Dreadful car in your opinion? To be fair, it is a dreadful car. The owner knows it, and he's a great sport for letting us drive it. But his family are into Rovers. He's a full Rover enthusiast, and it's a quite interesting car to collect because there's so few of them, and the ones that are surviving, there are very few nice ones. Because why would you save a terrible car? Apart from posterity, because it was the last ever Rover. Well, a car to wear a Rover badge. Let's not get into the argument of it's not really a Rover. But yeah, it was fun to drive though, because I'd never driven one before. I knew they weren't going to be amazing, but it was fun to get behind the wheel and see one. Oh yeah, first generation Subaru Legacy Outback. That was a great thing for literally going anywhere. What do I think of a Volvo V50? They're V50s, they're good, useful cars actually. I've not driven one in a while. What's my opinion on a Vectra B, a V6 manual? I'm going to say more power than it can handle in that chassis, because even the regular smaller engines didn't particularly handle that well, so sticking a V6 in it was okay in a straight line, but kind of a recipe for disaster trying to go around corners. How many subscribers do you need to get given cars to review? It's not so much about subscribers entirely, it's also about the number of views you get and also contacts you've got with in the industry and how much they kind of think you're so the people who are watching your channels are worth is the wrong phrase, who they think the people who are watching your channels are. It's up to an awful lot of different factors. Do I watch Salvage Rebuilds UK? Yes, I would love to go and meet them because they're not far from here. Have I driven a Stilo Schumacher? No, I haven't. That's a rare car. It's a special edition of a not very common car in the first place. So finding one of those would be interesting. Mark 6 Fiesta or similar age Yaris is the first car. Ooh, I think the Yaris is probably less trouble technically, but the Fiesta might be more fun to drive and it's very cheaper to service. Well, actually, very similar price to service. I'll go for the Fiesta probably. Dad had a Mondeo ST24 Estate. Yeah, I wish I'd kind of bought one a little while ago. Finding old legacies is hard because they're mostly bought by farmers and people who thrash them. Calibra V6 3 litre and a V Calibra. Yeah, they are fantastically fun cars, but yeah, the chassis just could be better. Actually, the Calibra should be better than the Vectra because the Calibra was built on a Cavalier chassis, wasn't it? And the chassis on the Cavalier was better than on the Vectra. BX GTI, enjoyable, yes, definitely money pit. No brakes, no steering is power if the hydraulics go. Have I driven a Saab 96 V4? No, I haven't actually, no. Yeah, I was really interested in the Peugeot 306 they found the other day on Salvage Rebuilds UK. That was a really cool looking car. I think it's on eBay or something now, or an auction, but... Oh, yeah, the Stilo R Bath. Oh, not the seller speed. Oh, God. They always broke. What's my opinion of the Prius in general? It's not the most dynamically wonderful car. Yeah, it's no. It's okay. It's a very, very average car in every direction. It's got average range, average looks, average seats. Nothing particularly special in any particular direction. Do I believe in modifications or restoration? Both, because there's horses for courses, and it's your car. If you want to modify it, then do it. I've got no problem with that. I need to drive a Citroen C4 Cactus. Are you Darren Valsatis in disguise? Yeah, the V50, sorry, that's kind of like a long wheelbase C30, isn't it, really? That's also a Focus underneath. Oh yeah, the Kia factory, that was actually just filmed when I was doing a photo shoot for something else entirely. I just left the camera recording and sort of set up video shots whilst I was doing my other regular work. But yeah, the reason I started doing uploads regularly was because when YouTube changed their whole outlook and said you could stop being monetized on YouTube, you stop earning money from the channel unless you had 1,000 subscribers and a minimum number of watch time hours. And I didn't have that, but I decided I wanted to keep on doing YouTube and just started doing regular uploads. C70 Coupes, they look good actually. They're really nice cars. Not very common anymore, but they look really quite cool. MG SVR would like to do a video in one. I have driven one before actually. They drive really, really well. It's an amazing car, but it wasn't originally an MG. It was an Italian car that was bought as an unfinished project, if you like, and MG kind of took it on. I think it was a very foolish thing of MG to do because they needed the money to develop a mainstream mid-sized 25/45 replacement, and they blew an awful lot of cash doing that, and the rear-wheel drive V8 75, making halo cars for a range they didn't have. They should have concentrated on the range. So it's a great car, but it shouldn't have been an MG. It was a Mangusta, wasn't it, I think? So someone else should have taken it on and carried on because it was a great car underneath. MG didn't need to go near it and chuck money at it. Do you know, I saw a Fiat Multipla on eBay the other day, and I was really tempted. Seller speed broke, but that's the Fiat dream. CLK 320 CDI, is that the same generation as the one I drove? Oh, it was the beginning of the year. I think I drove a silver one. It was quite a nice little car. It was a car I didn't really take seriously when it was new because I thought it was a bit, kind of a bit girly hairdressery, but it was actually quite a decent drive. Yeah, Cavalier was better, but yeah, not quite stiff enough to be a sports car underneath. Volvo 740 is fine. I'm going to tax it this month for a month before winter. So I'm running back through the comments again because I'll miss a few when I start talking. Computer going to sleep behind me. Oh, I think I've actually caught up. Wow. That's unusual. I've actually got to the end of the comments. What's my opinion on twin cam Rover Metro? He says twin cams. I'm assuming you mean twin cam rather than a person called twin cam. Rover Metros, they were really good cars when they first came out. They kind of got left behind by the world. But they just kind of ran them too long. They had no investment to replace it. It should have been updated many years ago or before. Schumacher 5-speed manual 2.45 cylinder. We're talking about the Stilo, I guess. Yeah, someone flagged up on the Ibiza Sport GTI earlier on today, and I was amazed because there's so few of the things around. Have I driven a Mirai? Oh, here we go. Mirai 2.4 diesel. No, I haven't, but I think it was the same block as in the Alpha 156 and 159 that I owned, which are both 2.45 cylinder diesels, and that was an amazing engine. Ah, Frank, okay, yeah. My Ibiza had the 8.5 engine. Okay, yeah, because no information came with that car at all, which made it quite hard to work out what I was driving. Have I driven a Rover Streetwise? No, I haven't actually. You got one for a first car. Well, I used to have the Bubble Rover 216 years ago, and I thought it was a really, really nice car to drive. But I've not driven the Streetwise, and there's one that kept parking around the corner from me, and I was going to leave a note in it saying, could I test drive it, but then it stopped parking there. I didn't get a chance. Dead Stig, news now for not at the moment. If you're late to the party, what I was saying at the beginning of this thing was, from now on, I'm going to do a live chat on the first Friday night of the month. At the end of the month, for Patreons and channel members, I'm going to do a recorded chat talking about what I've been buying, what the plans are for the coming month on all the different cars, and also I've taken up, I haven't got the address yet, a PO box. So if people want to send me junk, letters, nonsense, rubbish, bits of cars, stuff to stick on the wall, then then you can do that, and we'll do that as like a mail time thing on that Patreons and channel members video. And then a month later, when the new Patreon and channel members video is coming out privately for them only, the last month's one will be coming out for the rest of the world to see. So they'll be seeing it a month at a time, if that makes sense. And I suppose I could do a heads up because the first one is only went out end of last month, and so it's the first one. The Alpha is in the queue still. The garage has got it. They're still waiting to get it done because they've got loads of stuff in at the moment, and it's the back of the queue. It's a huge job. Everyday Salvage 2004. Yeah, drop me an email, bodyintheboot@gmail.com. Yeah, let me know where you are and how to get hold of you. I've done a boat and an old tractor. Would I do a boat and a garage? Would I do an old tractor? Yes, there is nothing that's off limits. So yes, I'll definitely do an old tractor if I found one. and a traction engine. I actually, looking back through the channel a long time, I actually drove a train once, but it wasn't one where I was talking. It was just the old Furious, where I was just doing the stuff and then not commentating on it. Oh, try and get an original Honda Insight. Do you know, I'd love to buy an original Honda Insight. They're suddenly getting expensive now, but they're quite a really cool, interesting car because one of the first of the new generation of electrics and hybrids and that kind of stuff. MG ZS 180, your first car. It is an unusual option purely because it's quite expensive to insure, I would imagine, being an MG. Short shift is worth it for normal driving. If you enjoy doing short shifting and you want to do a few sort of fast getaways and things, then yeah, they're quite fun. Have you driven a Lancia Delta? No, actually, I haven't. I've been in a few, but I've never really driven one. Triumph GT6 restoration project 23 miles from you, then go and get it. Apart from having nowhere to put it and no time to fix it, then no reason not to do it. Renault Safran 2.2 or a Saab 9000. Saab 9000. Oh, bye Jimmy. Sorry you're going. Oh, you've got streetwise for sale. Sorry, I'm going back through the cans. Streetwise for sale, 34,000 miles on it. Someone's going to want that. Too much tech in modern cars. I missed a comment earlier. Someone was asking what I think of all the screens in cars. Well, as the German courts proved the other day, to an owner of a Tesla driver, not a good thing, because someone crashed trying to adjust the wipers on the screen, and they got done for it. I love the Clio 1.8 16 valve. Yeah, they were really good. Big engine for a tiny car. When did the Rover factory close? It was 2004. Rover factory closed. ZS insurance, 900 quid. Wow, that's not bad actually. I haven't seen the GTI, the 8 valve and the 16 valve, 115 Fiat valve. Cupra had the 158 bhp engine, and Cupra on the front wing. This one had Cupra Sport GTI on the boot, so it's like a real mixture. 1450 insurance, good on a Mazda 2 Tamura 1.3 petrol, the first car being 18 years old. I actually don't know. I've not got insurance as an 18-year-old for quite a number of years, so it's hard to say. Black box insurance, yeah, it's annoying, but it does get the price down. You can make sure you drive like a granny the whole time. Could I get hold of a Clio Williams? I don't know. I'd love to get hold of a Clio Williams because they are fantastic things. I'm not on a mic, I'm on an iPad and don't know you can actually plug a microphone into it. How do you snap the cam belt on a micro? I thought they were literally unbreakable. Oh dear, I'm bummed my Rover 75 might be getting too used to be worth keeping anymore since I have to do some rust fixes on... Well, it's a 21-year-old car, so if you're using it daily, it's going to start going a bit rusty, isn't it? But maybe stick on the back burner, get something else. Yeah, I saw that thing that Johnny Smith said about the new Golf being all touch screen. I thought it was terrible when I saw that. Just, no, you need actual buttons and controls. Like the Alpha we had the other day, that was proper controls on it, so you can physically touch stuff. If you're driving along, you don't want to be going through menus. It's really distracting. It's just dangerous. Hello to Spain. Oops. Can't scroll back. Mark 1 Mondeos, oh, they're great fun. It was a whole new thing. It was the end of the Sierra era, the start of the Mondeo era. Mark 1, so you can find a nice clean Mark 1 Mondeo. It's a great future classic waiting to happen. I'm going to just quickly remove someone. Mazda 323 Estate. Ooh, with a 1.7 diesel engine. I don't think I've ever seen one of those. Would ever do of a V50? Drop me an email. bodyintheboot@gmail.com. If anyone's watching this is wanting to offer stuff to the channel, I'd always say email bodyintheboot@gmail.com rather than Facebook or Instagram, because I find those emails faster than I find social media, because it doesn't always flash up immediately. Mondeo ST220 or Mazda 6 MPS. I'll go for the Mondeo actually. They're virtually the same car underneath, but I just quite like the Mondeo styling. Yeah, I didn't see the comment about Nissan quality, but I've heard a lot of things since the Renault alliance. They've not got as good quality as they used to. Have I done any mods on my cars? Yes, the Rover Coupe, that's got gas coilovers on it, Piper stainless exhaust, induction kit, EBC discs and pads. I think that's everything modded on that particular car. The Rover V8 has got a 4.6 litre in it, which is not quite running it. Oh, Alec, thank you much indeed for joining. Very much appreciate that, and hopefully you'll get to see the new videos ahead of time with everyone else. Various vehicles. Well, someone just did talk about the valve cover difference between the 16 valve and the 8 valve. As far as I know, that car is an original car, but it's a very, very, very hard car to research. A review of a London taxi, yeah, that's quite a good idea actually. They ran for so long, there's so many versions, I could do a whole series on that. Nearly finished the bomb bug, that'd be awesome, yeah. Yeah, when it's warm and dry. Again, the email, drop me an email, that'd be awesome. Have you any plans for meets and greets next year? I had plans for meets and greets this year, but obviously wasn't going to happen. And then even when it started sort of easing off and being kind of okay to do stuff, I kind of thought it's just, well, I was just about to start thinking, great, maybe October we can do something, and now we're all kind of in lockdown again in sort of small areas. I thought, I don't want to be the person who brings people together, and if there's an outbreak of more COVID and it's my fault, that would be very bad indeed. So yeah, next year I'd love to do some meet and greets and some sort of furious meetups. Ultimate Q car, Rover 75 V8, yeah, it's probably very high up on the list because it's such a understated thing. Should I put Mercedes diesel in my Volvo 240? If you've got a spare Mercedes diesel knocking around, that would be an interesting conversion. I've seen Mercedes diesels going into all kinds of things. The guy who's got my Alpha to the welding, he's put a Mercedes diesel into a 1940s Chevy Business Coupe, and that's his wife's daily driver. And that's a really successful conversion, so it makes it very usable. Lots of torque, good economy, really useful. What's my opinion on the Audi TT in general? The original ones are really cool, I think. They do have a bit of a stereotype. But I think I like the old ones more than the new ones. Oh, Barnaby, thank you for coming. Hopefully see you in the next time. Is it worth putting a bigger engine in a smaller car? If you can make the thing handle and stop properly, then yes, it's good fun. That's what hot rodding is all about. That is the spirit of hot rodding going back to the 1930s and 40s. Have I driven a Honda Accord Type R? No, I haven't. Not that particular Type R. Renault 9 or Renault 11? Ooh, I think I like the 11 more. Video City Productions, you are late, but thank you for coming. Although I'm probably going to be wrapping up in a few minutes. Why is Nissan downgraded? I think cost cutting partly, not necessarily because of Renault, because later Renaults have become better in recent years. More nonsense cars, please. Yes, if I can find nonsense cars, I'd be very happy to drive them. They're lots of fun. Meeting up with old Top Gear crew and Channel 5. And I might have missed something. You are, or there's something else going on. Lancia Delta Integrale, yes, they are very lively indeed. I should drive a 9.3 Turbo X, yes, if I could find one. There are some amazing cars out there, but they're just so rare. Coming across them is always kind of tricky. Oops. What's the best car I've driven so far? That's an impossibly hard question to answer because they're all so different. Pretty similar, like an MX-5. The Rover 75 V6 was amazing. That was so smooth and nice. The manual gearbox was nice. But recently, the Alfa Giulia Quadrifoglio, I can't say it now. The Cloverleaf, the Giulia Cloverleaf was astonishingly good. If it had a manual gearbox and a state car in it, I would be queuing outside there right now with a kidney in one hand, everything else owned, ready to part exchange for it right now. What about very small engines in big cars? Ford have been doing it for a while. They tend to wind up being kind of ragged and pushed really hard, and reliability and fuel economy does tend to go down a bit. Curtis Zines Gaming, yeah. They used to have the original Audi TTs had no rear spoiler, but then it was a recall because of stability. They had to go and bring them all back and put spoilers on because they kept falling off the road. Have I ever gone around the Nürburgring? I've been around the Nürburgring, as in your mum is so fat when she sits around the house. I've been there about 4 times. I've never actually made it there because every time we've been there, it's been shut on the day. I'd love to go around one day, but it's also vaguely terrifying, the thought, because if anything does go wrong, and stuff does go wrong all the time, you are financially liable for all of it. If I come over to mainland Europe again, yes, I would definitely give people a heads up because it'd be really cool to do like a European tour, stopping off and driving cars around the continent. That'd be really, really cool. I mean, this summer we should have been driving down to Italy through France and Germany and Switzerland to Italy for like a 2-week sort of drive around, stopping in the Italian lakes. That would have been yet another nice little European tour. But yeah, I think next year when we can travel around and stop and talk to people, I would very much like to do like a European tour. Jason, a London taxi with a V8 and mods. Do you know what? I've actually been in that taxi. It's rather than an LS though. It's got a TVR V8, and on the little taxi glowing yellow thing at the front, it says Chopped because that's the car's name. It's actually a chopped and channeled London taxi, and it's driven by a London taxi driver. And because he's got the London taxi license, he can drive it in the taxi and bus lanes. I've been around London in that car, and that was hilarious. Where's my favourite road trip journey location? Oh, there's too many to choose from, and I do love an American road trip. I've been up and down the sort of Pacific Coast Highway into sort of Nevada, Arizona, all that with my wife, and that was really cool. Love doing that. I really, really enjoyed the Route 66 going across America. That was really good. But then we've got this kind of nice regular trip we do down to Lake Garda, like a family holiday, and that's like one of our favourite things ever to do. Every road trip's different. Every journey is a different adventure. So it's hard to say which is the best one. They're all very good. And a trip around Ireland too. Yeah, that'd be good to do. Some good cars and good roads in Ireland. Mirage, thank you much indeed. Be nice to meet up with you next year, maybe. Original Lexus LS 400, they were awesome cars, proper Mercedes beaters, but they didn't have a name at the time. And now you can just get them for no money at all. Curry or Chinese? Curry. Having driven Range Rover Velar D180, you can say small engines and big cars don't work. Yeah. Subaru 360 for sale. Wow, God, that's a rare beast. Is that on eBay? Oh, a Rover SD1 police car. Thank you very much, Dana. Glad you enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun filming that. That was you sent me the email about the scimitar. That I got the impression from the email it's not quite finished yet. So yeah, I did reply to that earlier today. Does MOA signify anything on the number plate of July 99? Not that I'm aware of. If anyone else knows, then comment below. Going to see any P6 updates? I'm doing some P6 stuff tomorrow, actually. So yes, very soon. Oops. Is a Mazda Miata a good car? well, as we would call it here, the MX-5, or if you're in Japan, then the Unos, then yeah, it's an absolutely brilliant car. They're always fantastic. Um, they are one of the best sports cars money can buy. Really, they are. Forget any kind of image or it's a girls' car, that kind of nonsense. They are just a great pure sports car, and anyone who sort of drives one will instantly fall in love with them. Um, they are great. They're great things. Definitely go and drive one, and you'll love it as well. You can't really. I've tried to explain it in a video, but until you go and drive one, you can't really understand how great they are. Ever been to Sweden? Yes, I've been to most of Scandinavia on sort of various occasions, actually, through work mainly. We did a Norwegian fjord trip last year. Um, did it, yeah, I've been to Denmark for various photo shoots, and the Mini international meet about 10-15 years ago. We went over in a Mini, me and the editor of Mini magazine, which I'm sure that was Sweden, not Denmark. Or was it Denmark? No, I've been to Sweden though, and for Volvo stuff in the past. Sorry, yeah, a bit vague, but yes, I have. The Towns Hustler, that was an insane vehicle. But I'll finish up to that last thing about Sweden. Yes, I really enjoyed being in Sweden. We were right in the north when the XC60 came out, because Volvo have got a testing ground up there. Am I a professional racing driver? No, I've done some track days and I've had a lot of driver training inadvertently through work. Not like sitting down with lessons, just spending time with instructors who've just sort of given ad hoc advice whilst I'm within their presence, which is becoming very useful. How do I get all the car reviews? Friends who work at dealerships or own dealerships, people who've got good cars, and they contact me. If someone's got a car dealership and they're lending me a car that they've got for sale, then I will obviously say thank you to them and where the car is for sale. That's like a nice thank you in return for the loan of the car and getting their car dirty, and they've got to clean it again to put it back into the showroom. Is the Volvo 740 still alive? Yeah, I'm going to tax it tomorrow. Drum Tom, I don't know where you're commenting from. You may be English and understand this already, or from Britain, I should say. But yeah, because you've got to tax it month by month, then if I'm not using a car much, I will just stick it on Sawn for a month, just to save the money. It's like £20-25 that's just sitting there being wasted for the car, maybe being used once or twice in 4 weeks. So I'm going to tax it tomorrow and give it a bit of use. There's a few Lancers in the UK, they're all around. You've only got the Thema in so far. I need to do some more though. I do like them. Twin cam, thank you. The OA is Birmingham. M doesn't mean anything, yeah, that's correct. But the OA, yeah, if it's a Birmingham car, there's always the possibility it was a Rover car. That's a factory car, I should say. Yeah, RX-8 engined MX-5. Now that would be interesting. Hello, John. Anything Rover from Scotland, from Australia? Yeah, interestingly, I've got the Rover mugs for sale on what do you call it? Redbubble, and we see a lot of sales, or I see a lot of sales of Rover mugs, cushions, and things to Australia. That's quite interesting. E28 BMWs, they're good cars. A friend of mine runs one daily still. VW Passat W8, yeah, they're good. I've never seen one in the flesh, I don't think, though. Can I talk louder? I can try and talk louder. So I'm on the iPad, and there's no microphone beyond the microphone in the iPad. Oh, thank you very much, Dave, for subscribing. I really do appreciate that. My day job is I'm a photographer of cars, and that's why I'm sort of know so many car people. Why didn't Italian cars catch on in the US? Same reason British cars didn't really, because there's no dealer network, and European cars tend to be a bit more high maintenance, and American cars tended to be quite low maintenance, and so people didn't really understand the requirements, so they came across as being unreliable. What do I think of the Rover P5 Coupe? It's astonishingly pretty and a lovely engine and a beautiful interior. Everything is to love about that car. The right-hand drive Yugo for sale on Facebook Marketplace in Stratford-upon-Avon for $15.50. That's a lot of money for a Yugo. You just bought a Mazda 2.5 Mazda Bongo. Oh, the Bongo is one of the best named cars around. I hope you're going to go camping in it. It's a full-on camper version because they are great fun to go camping in. They're very little. Sorry, it's the iPad. It doesn't have a great microphone. It would appear. I've been into photography since I was a kid, and my first job was as a photographer, and I've been doing that since I left school. Daewoo Sparrow or Hyundai Elantra? Oh God, the Elantra. Zero. It doesn't give me a translate option, I'm afraid. Any news in the Merc? I've bought some stuff for it, and it's going to get fitted in the week if it stops raining. In fact, you can probably hear the rain above me. The rain is so loud right now. Oh, John, you're one of the mug buyers in Australia. All being shouted at from downstairs. Yes. Oh, have I got any more joy in the Rover Cabriolet? No, I've mentioned this earlier. It's I've done some more work to it, and in doing more work to it, it's caused more problems. I was going to put a video up this week, but I'm waiting on parts to arrive, and they've just been really, really slow in the post. One part is 10 days delayed so far, so I don't want to put the half-finished content out. I think I might have to go and do some being a dad in a minute. You're right. No, don't turn the lights off. A cheeky child is coming in flashing the lights. This may mean...
Damn it, how'd you got some... Damn it, you forehead.
I thought I pre-planned for this.
I'm seeing you on that camera.
Okay.
Hello, Arthur, if you're watching.
I think Arthur will be in bed by now.
Only...
Okay. Right, I'm going to say good night, everybody, as I've now got stuff to do. Oh, if you want to find the photography channel, I'll just say, if you look in the link below the video right now, the description, there's a link to it, hopefully in there. Right, and the phone is ringing as well, so everything is going wrong at this point. Child and phone and my mobile and the landline are all ringing together. So I'm going to say good night, everybody. Have a lovely evening. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate your time, and I'll see you again. Let's bring her outside the house. Why can't she get in? Good night, everyone. Hello. I'm right. Sorry, I was on the